Sin City is an American noir crime film, written, produced, and filmed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller. The 2005 film is based on Miller's namely graphic novel. This movie is composed of 3 books in Miller's original comic series, which I'll explain in detail individually. First, we see The Hard Goodbye. This chapter details a disfigured but misunderstood man, Marv, who's played by Mickey Rourke. He goes out on a full-scale search for his one-time lover but eternal flames killer. He ends up slaughtering absolutely any schmuck that get in his way to redemption. The next chapter, The Big Fat Kill, depicts another part of the city. A street war between an armed, technically trained, and fully badass band of prostitutes takes on a bunch of pissed-off cops and the mob, a recipe for an all-out killing spree. The last chapter, called The Yellow Bastard, follows an aging police officer named Hartigan, played by Bruce Willis, who devotes his life to protecting a young girl, Nancy, played by Jessica Alba. At the price of 8 years in prison and the fact he's framed by the local PD for raping her, it's ironic that he continually saves Nancy from an intensely disfigured serial rapist and killer. While the film received generally positive reviews, an example is Robert Ebert, an American film critic and screenwriter. He awarded the film a very nice review. I quote, "A visualization of the pulp noir imagination, uncompromising and extreme. Yes, and brilliant." End quote. However, the New York Times acclaimed film critic Enola Dargis commented that the author's dedication to absolute unreality made it, quote, "hard to get pulled into this story on any level other than visceral." Well, that's a decent point. The plot is viscous and hard to follow. However, Sin City is the contemporary epitome of effective use of contrasting color, camera angles, and framing to incite a deeper meaning into each scene. The visuals of Sin City rely heavily on the use of contrast. Contrast indicates intensity, but it also is used essentially to imitate the animation of a comic book. An important note is that higher contrast gives the viewer less information on screen, obscuring the background and simplifying the subject to emphasize action and reaction. Absence of color is a primary feature for emphasis. In its colorless frame of black and white images, the effect of single source lighting creates a distinct silhouette, drawing depth and perception. The variety of exciting dynamics of camera angles in Sin City pay homage to traditional noir, blurs the boundary between animation and live action, and just allows them to do absolutely freaking sweet action scenes. They can do anything they want. Nothing's off the table. The classic low angle of both comics and noir introduces an extreme view that enhances intensity in Sin City's characters, plots, and cinematography. The low angle shot depicts the view of the victim, encompassing the gruesome perspective of the killers as well. Check this scene with Marv and Cardinal Rourke. As blood spatters all over his face like paint, Marv is a perfect example of vengeance and justice in Sin City. This scene shows that Marv's total acceptance to his execution is inevitable, and he embodies the lawless, immoral, nihilistic culture of Sin City and its occupants as a whole. To end, I really want to discuss the true sliver of compassion and self-sacrifice in Sin City. And it comes from Hartigan's deep desire to save and protect young and old Nancy. He's ready to die and forego his promised easy retirement. He resists the temptation to love her and stands as a stark contrast to the rest of Sin City. He knows his price, and he's willing to take it.